I'm going to create an extruder disk in Tinkercad. So I'm going to go into my account and do create new design. And a disk is basically a really flat cylinder. So I'm going to click and drag the cylinder over here. And my extruder discs are 18 millimeters in diameter. So I'm going to click and change these 18. And I use PETG filament, which seems to be a little bit sturdier than PLA. So I don't know if you use PLA if you need to make it a little bit thicker. But my thickness, I know 3 millimeters has been sufficient. So I'm going to change the height to 3. And then while I've got this pulled up, I'm going to create more sides on it, and it's going to make it just a little bit smoother. So now we need a design, and because Tinkercad gives it these really interesting names, I have a hard time remembering what's what. So I'm going to click here and just change this to extruder disk. I guess I can edit that part out. All right, so now that I've got my shape, my extruder disk kind of template, what I need to do is put a hole in here of some shape. So whatever image you decide that you want to put into your extruder disk, you need to make sure you're not violating copyright laws. I don't have tons of information on when it's okay to use what, but I'm going to go pick an icon or picture that I know is going to be okay to use with this. All right, so what we want is a solid image that we can put into the disk. So my first instinct was to open this with paint and just fill in the circle. So when I go here to paint and I click the paint bucket to fill in the circle, I can see I still have that white outline, which the file is going to pick it up, potentially. It sometimes when you convert it, it would make it solid, but I don't know if it's going to. So I'm going to fix that now. And I can, let's see, choose a shape and just go around it. And then change the fill to solid. Then I can fill that in completely. All right, so I got that done. Let's save it. And my save as options are not going to put it in a format where I can open it in Tinkercad. I have to have an object or STL, I think. I can't remember all of them, but none of these were options to open in Tinkercad. So we've got it saved. And what we're going to do now is convert the file. So I'll go here to this online converter. And there's other free online converters. This is just one I saw in another video somewhere. So we're gonna change it to a scalable vector graphic, an SVG. So I'm going to choose a file and go to the desktop and get this flower that we just edited. And we're going to start the conversion. All right, so I've got my SVG downloaded, and I can go to Tinkercad and import an image. So if I go to my downloads, when you scale this image down, we want the ratio of the side lengths to stay the same. So we're going to press and hold the Shift key and the corner to make sure that that happens, and it preserves the ratio of the side lengths. So if I don't click the Shift key, I can do this and change the ratio of the length and width, but I don't want to do that. So hold the Shift key, hold the corner, click and drag, and now it's going to keep the ratio the same. I want to make this tall because when I hold the Shift key and shrink it down, it's also shrinking the height. So we need this to be below 18 by a good bit so that I'm not risking running into the sides of the extruder disc. So now I have my little flower image here. Okay, I'm going to click the flower and turn it into a hole by clicking hole. And I always just like to go below the build plate just a little bit. So it's not necessary. It just makes me feel better. So if I go down like -2, I know it's going to go all the way through the extruder disc, which it would do anyway, but I just need to feel good about myself, I guess. So now I want to center this on the extruder disc. I can click and drag to select both pieces, go over here to where it says align, and I'm going to align it, and they are now centered. And then now that they're centered, I can group them. And I can see that I have this shape in the extruder disc, and I can click it two-dimensionally and see I like the way it looks. It's not too close to the edges, and I think that's a good shape to go with.